everyone, it's Melissa with writewithmelissa.com and happy Tarot Tuesday! Today I'm going to be doing a pick a card for the month of September. So this is the September 2020 reading. I'm super excited. I have this whole new setup. It's been a lot of trial and error, so I want to thank everybody who's been patient with me as I've tried to figure out some of the technology and get familiar with editing and pulling together all of these things. Thank you for joining the Facebook Lives, and I hope to continue doing some of those in the future. But I wanted to really start doing some recorded videos because I think I can just get higher quality. So I hope you enjoy these. I hope you subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when they're posted. And I may do some for fun outside of Tuesdays. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, here's your pile. So I have 3 cards, 3 piles. Choose the one that speaks to you. Look at them. Pause this if you need to. Sometimes it's the charm that guides you to a pile, and sometimes it's the number. So we have pile number 1, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So go ahead and pause this. I'll also do a close-up so you can see each of the charms that I've pulled for each pile in case that speaks to you. And if you need more time, that's okay. Press pause, take a deep breath, and let your intuition guide you to the right pile. All right, stay tuned. All right, so there's the icon or the charm for the first one, which is the plane, the button with the plane, so it might speak to folks who are looking to travel. The second one, Decide Your Fate pin. So we've got the Decide Your Fate star pin. And the last, we've got the Rapunzel charm. So the Let Down Your Hair Rapunzel quote. Just pick the one that speaks to you. And if you need to pause this, go ahead and pause and continue to reflect. Group 1, Group 2, and there's Group 3. If you chose this group, I'm going to say 1, you might be really inspired to get away. You might be thinking about, how can I get a travel? How can I trip? How can I take a trip? Where can I go? What can I do? So let's keep that in mind for September. It's like this desire to need a break, to get away. These first cards are going to be your general overall mood, feeling, the general read for the month, right? So these are very general. Very interesting because you've got the 4 of Swords in reverse. 4 of Swords, remember, speaks to rest, relaxation, recovery, healing, needing that quiet time, wanting to sort of fall into creature comforts. We've got the High Priestess, which is also about intuition and turning inward. So I often think of that as isolation and seclusion because it's an energy that is really focused on the self and understanding and exploring the mind and your gut, your instincts, your intuition, all of that. And then you've got the 10 of Cups, which is really focused on family and strong relationships, generational relationships with family, building your legacy out. Really healthy, balanced social life here. So overall, what I'm sensing is that there is a desire and need to step back, to sort of spend some time on your own or spend some time with family and loved ones away, disconnecting. And some of you may find that hard if you're back to school and you're in that sort of back to school routine, but just give yourself grace because just because you're back on that 9 to 5 schedule or that 8 to 5 schedule during the week, it doesn't mean that you can't take a weekend out to recover. Maybe this is something Labor Day weekend related, but see if there's a day trip that you can take to a park or get outside and get in touch with nature. Do something that is calming and that is just with you and your family, your immediate family, to just recharge. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for the general month of September. These cards from the Modern Witch Tarot are all cards focused on highs for the month. So what are the highs for your month? Interesting. Okay, so this is interesting because the way this was framed is what is your highs? And so you've got the Three of Pentacles, which makes me think of collaboration, working with others to create something. So tapping into that, those partnerships, looking at friends, looking at coworkers, and really finding other people who can up your own game in terms of the projects that you're working on. We've got the Death card, which means, something's coming to an end, and it seems like that's going to be a high for you. It's not going to be miserable. It's not going to be sad. It's not going to be grieving. It's going to be letting go of something that that no longer serves you. And then you've got the Nine of Swords, which, also speaks to insomnia and not being able to get a lot of sleep. And so for some of you, this may be that you just have a lot of energy. And so you're feeling well rested. You're feeling like you're not needing as much sleep, or maybe you're getting all of the sleep, and the insomnia and the nightmares and the anxiety is sort of fading away. That's what I would see here. We'll see if the other cards align to that. But yeah, so this is what are your highs, and it sounds like Nine of Swords, that like this energy is going away, and maybe you've had anxiety or trouble sleeping in the past. And then what are your lows? So I think we have two low cards here. Yeah, so we've got the Knight, we got two low cards in reverse. We've got the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. So wand energy. So your lows may be things that you're passionate about, things that usually bring you purpose and a sense of purpose. But right now you're going to feel a couple of things. So the seven, here, I'll show you this so you can see it. Hopefully I'll zoom in a little bit. But the Seven of Wands is all about just defensiveness and protectiveness, and really feeling like you need to protect something that's really important to you. And so it could be a project that you're working on in your business, a creative project, a story, a book, a song, but you're really feeling protective of it and wanting to hold on to it. Maybe even feeling attacked or judged. You're getting some harsh feedback or some critical feedback on a work, and it's making you defensive. And that's gonna, in September, that is going to be a low for you. That's going to be something that if you're not careful, it could really distract you. You also have this Knight energy, the Knight of Wands, which again is all about pursuing our passions, but sort of with aggressive and impulsiveness. And so just make sure that you're not jumping into things that are really shiny. You're not chasing after things that don't align with your vision or your purpose, that you're really working to stay focused and stay centered and keep the bigger picture here. It's very easy for the Knight and those Knights to lose their head, to have tempers, to jump to conclusions, to be really impulsive, because they're still learning how to navigate and manage these realms. So make sure you're not giving into that too much. And then we have opportunities. So what opportunities are going to exist throughout September for you? Okay. So interesting, we've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, but the Two of Pentacles speaks to balance, right? Work-life balance in particular is what I think about it, but work and play, it's not just like home life and career. It's really like, how do I provide for myself? What do I do for a living? And then how do I make sure that I'm also resting, recovering, taking care of other responsibilities and not getting burnt out? And you see there's this infinity symbol, this infinite loop. It's because it's never ending, and we can let it consume us if we're not paying attention. So yeah, there's an opportunity here for you to find more balance and grounding, and make sure you're not focusing on one element or aspect of your life, particularly the material things in your life, more than the other. So that's your physical body, it's your money, it's the food that you're eating and consuming, the things that you're buying. Just make sure that there's balance there. And then the second opportunity here is the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords energy is saying here that there's healing, right? There are cracks in this ice and they're rippling out, and you do have to repair them because you get too many cracks and everything breaks, everything falls apart, right? So this is that dealing with heartbreak, dealing with betrayal, dealing with loss. This is telling me that there's an opportunity for you to heal. There's an opportunity for you to grow in September. and to face some of those things that maybe you've been putting off. I especially see that with the Four of Swords energy too. So you have 3 and then 4, right? So this occurs, you're aware of it, you start working to heal, and you give yourself time to recover and rest, and then you're energized and ready to tackle the next thing. And then lastly, we have some advice. So the advice here from the Moon Oracle deck is communication is key. So we have the new moon in Gemini, communication is key. And you're very close to achieving your goal. So something that you've wanted this month is close to happening. So don't give up. Don't get distracted. Know that you're on the right path and you're close to achieving your goal. That may be causing you a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of stress, but that's an opportunity, right, to face those fears. And communication is key. When you have those fears, embrace them. Talk to people about them. Don't bottle them up inside. Go to your trusted friends and family, the people in your 10 of Cups circle. Go to them and get balance and share what's on your mind. Communication also with this 3 of Pentacles and collaboration and work projects, that's going to be really important. So yeah, remember that communication is key. Speaking what you need, asking for what you want and need in relationships, communicating with people, telling them when something is not going well. So like you can manage that. All right, so that is the reading for group number 1. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. And we're going to move on to group number 2. All right, group number 2. Group number 2. Hello, group number 2. Okay, so this is your reading, and this was the group that decided your fate, the Decide Your Fate pen, which I love. This is one of my favorite pens. It came from a little owl crate box. And so because you chose that charm in this pile, I would say there's something that you're thinking about that's bigger picture, that's not just about this month, but you're thinking about a bigger, deeper purpose. And what does fate have to offer? What is your destiny? What purpose and path do you want to walk throughout your life? So those are big questions. So let's see what the cards have to say about this month. These first cards are all about the general month. So what's happening in general? We have our Lovers card, our Justice card, and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So this tells me that, one, there's some romance, right? Or there's going to be some passion, there's going to be some romance, there's going to be some love, and compassion happening in September for you, group 2. And this could be, if you're in a relationship, this could be finding time to rekindle and that passion and spending time doing some date nights, doing something creative together, expressing your love, expressing your gratitude. If you're not in a relationship, this could be, again, a signal to start, to think about opening yourself up to get into a new relationship. You have this Justice card too, which also says to me that you're thinking about fairness. You're thinking about truth. You're going to be pursuing truth, whether that's externally in the situations around you or it's internally. Justice is going to be driving you. It's going to be a powerful energy right now. And it really does sound like you're going to be wanting to make sure things are fair and balanced. That could be in relationships that you have, but it could also be in work. It could be in how you treat your kids or other family members and friends, but you're going to want to be that arbiter of justice here. These are both major arcana cards, so that's really powerful energy for September that's going to be floating around and really driving a lot of what you go through this month. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So 8 of Pentacles is all about discipline. So you may be working on a project and it's a reminder to pay attention to the details. This is in reverse. So I'm going to say that this may mean that you're too focused, too hyper-focused on the details. You're getting caught up in the nitty-gritty and you may need to take a step back. You may need to actually get some more context before you dive into the work, or you may need to get a second opinion. You may need to get feedback. If you're a writer, you may need a crit group, a beta reader, a writer's group, somebody to look at your work and give you some feedback on it, because you may be using that perfectionist tendency to procrastinate and to avoid moving to the next phase of the writing on the project. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so these are things that are going to be highs for you. We had 4 cards come out. Interesting. Okay, so the highs. This is wow. Yeah, this is very interesting. So you've got the 5 of Wands, which speaks to competition, right? And you've got the 10 of Wands. Both of these down, right side up. You have 10 of Wands, which speaks to carrying a lot of burdens, being overburdened, taking a lot of priorities. And so for some of you, this may be a high. You may be that kind of personality that loves competition, that thrives off of that energy, that you do your best work when you're competing with other, when you have to be accountable to somebody else, and you say yes to a lot of things, you take on a lot of projects, and that makes you feel like you have purpose. So for some people, this is good. This is a welcome change, especially if you've been out of work, or the pandemic has impacted you, and your work schedule or career life or even personal life has been very disrupted. You may welcome suddenly having a lot of things on your plate to do. You have the Chariot and the Star in reverse. Again, 2 more major arcana cards. The Chariot speaks to celebrations, victory, action, movement. I often think of the Chariot as it's sort of the midpoint. It's like a middle victory. You've won a battle, but not a war kind of energy. And so it's a reminder to celebrate, but also a reminder that there's still a lot more work to do. And I get the sense that whoever is in this group, that you are a kind of person that has a victory but doesn't pay attention to it, right? You don't celebrate the small things. You're focused on the end goal. You're always moving, and this is no exception. There's going to be these highs, but you're not going to pay attention to it, right? So I would encourage you just to be on the lookout for those little wins and make sure you're celebrating those. The star too, this is your North Star. I like to think about this as the guiding star, your North Star, your internal compass. We had the decide your fate here. How appropriate with the star here. So there's something here about you're not actually following your North Star. Like maybe it's getting hazy, maybe it's cloudy, maybe you can't see that star and you're kind of floundering somewhere in the middle of the week is what I'm feeling, but or the middle of the month is what I'm feeling. It's like you're going to lose sight of that for a little while, and it could be because of the competition and all of these different projects coming at you that you're not able to see the forest through the trees. Like pay attention to that, and see if you can write that, see if you can find balance and give yourself opportunities to be grounded so that you can follow your North Star again. Let's look at what the lows are and see if they correlate here. So yeah, we've got the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands. Page of Swords and Page of Wands both in reverse. 2 pages. So pages are like the youthful, the child, the baby. They're new to this energy. They're new. They're not experts at all. They're learning. They're testing things out. The Page of Swords is seeking truth again. So it's interesting that you have that Justice card there. They're seeking truth. They're trying to find clarity. So I think that fits with the star too, losing sight. They're tangled up. They want freedom. They want clarity. They want to know what is true. They want to explore. They want evidence and information to make sound decisions. Meanwhile, the Page of Wands really wants to be grounded, is really looking for connection. And there's a reminder to ground yourself in nature, to ground yourself and set a foundation that you can then thrive upon in your purpose and your passion. So there is this sense that, your lows are going to be because you're going to be feeling like you're adrift, that you're not connecting to your larger purpose. You're not connecting to your larger, path and the journey that you need to be on. At some point, you're going to realize that you're losing your way, and that's going to bring you a little bit of frustration and bring down your vibe. And let's look at the opportunities. Like, what opportunities are going to come up this month? We've got the 8 of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Ace of Pentacles. So more Pentacle energy. So this is the second 8 of Pentacles, you guys. Look at that. 2 8 of Pentacles in the same group. So you guys are definitely focusing on detail, on attention to detail, on meticulousness. This one in particular is like the worker bee, and so it makes me think of that energy of just constantly going at it, not taking a break, being really disciplined, really diligent, to the point where it can do you a little bit of harm if there's not balance there. This group definitely feels like a workaholic, you guys. So I hope you love what you do. If not, step back, find your North Star, and figure out how you can channel all of this energy that you have into something that you're really truly passionate about. Because I see that with these two eights of pentacles, there's definitely a sense of commitment and discipline and dedication to the craft. You've got the hermit energy, hermit. So again, isolating, pulling in within yourself, focusing on yourself, focusing on what you want, looking within. Like, there's all of this is really telling me that you need to take time to really figure out what it is you want and articulate that. And that means taking time away from other people, take a break from social media, give yourself a day or two or a week or two to really be in your own thoughts and not be influenced by others, including family members, right? Look in yourself and figure out what is it that you feel called to do, and learn to trust your intuition. That's what I'm seeing with this Hermit card. Ace of Pentacles, there's a seed of an idea there. I think you already know what this is. There's a seed of an idea. You need to plant those seeds. Don't hoard them. Plant them so that they can develop and they can mature and they can, be fruitful in the years to come. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My battery died on my camera and it stopped recording. So I'm going to record the last little bit of group 2 and then move on to group 3. All right, so I was just talking about the Ace of Pentacles and planting seeds. So definitely be sure to do that if something new is coming to you, or an idea and a tickle of an idea is sort of sitting in your gut. Plant that seed. Take the first step. It's not a lifelong commitment. Plant those seeds and see where they land. The last thing that I wanted to do is walk through the Moon Oracle guidance cards. So I got 2 points of guidance for you. And we've got the end of a tough cycle approaches and hold your vision. So everything that I was talking about with your sense of vision, finding your star, following your passion, that's here, right? Hold true to your vision. Don't let go. Make sure you're centering yourself to remember what your vision is. And then secondly, the end of a tough cycle is approaching. So anything that's bringing you challenge, these extra burdens, this competition, that's going to wane down. And hopefully that's because you're focusing on your vision and recentering yourself. But if not, know that those dark days, those hard times, those moments of frustration, they don't last forever. The end of that tough cycle is approaching. All right, that's the end of group 2's reading. Hit me in the comments and let me know down below if this was helpful, if you enjoyed it, and what resonated with you. Also, remember to like and subscribe and share this with other people that you think would like tarot readings. All right, take care. Bye. All right, group 3, welcome. So excited to dig into your pile. This is group 3 with our special little stone. I call this the Rapunzel stone because it says Rapunzel, let down your hair. It's a quote from a book. So if you chose that stone, this is your reading. All right, let's get into it. So your first tarot cards here. Look at that. Okay. So we've got 3 different tarot cards. We've got the 9 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. And these cards are meant to represent what is happening in general, the general sort of feeling and mood and energy for September 2020. So let's talk about these 9s. You've got 2 9s here and an 8. The 9s are often when you're nearing the end of a journey, but they have this sense of weariness, right? They have a sense of exhaustion. You're almost to the end. You're not quite there. Sometimes you lose hope, you lose faith, you get distracted. You get restless right before. It's like, I like to think of it as almost kind of like that dark night of the soul moment, if you're familiar with that in writing terms and literary terms. It's that sense of like, I'm almost there, but I can't quite see it. Something surprises me. Something comes up. This card in particular is often like that last minute surprise. You think you know what you're doing. You have a game plan and something goes wrong and it throws you for a loop. And you're kind of tempted to quit. You're kind of tempted to give up. And I would just say card is showing up. So that means that temptation might be present this month. Don't quit. We're almost there. Don't quit. The Nine of Swords usually speaks to restlessness, insomnia, anxiety, worry, and dread. So don't let yourself get too caught up in that energy this month. It will be there, and just acknowledge it. No feeling's a bad feeling, so acknowledge the feeling that it is existing, but know that it's not permanent. And if you're having trouble sleeping, look to some rituals that will help calm you. Think about meditation. Think about listening to relaxing music, aromatherapy. There's some natural ways that you can sort of put into your nighttime routine to help you get more rest and more sleep. And then the Eight of Cups, which is all about walking away from things that no longer serve you. So this month, I would encourage you to really step back and look at the things that don't serve you and think about how you can walk away. And I love this card because it reminds me to set rituals. So it's one thing to say, I'm never going to do this again. It's another thing to actually set a ritual, whether that's writing it down on a piece of paper and committing to it, posting it on your mirror, whether it's burning the paper or lighting a candle, but something that lets you symbolize the fact that you're letting go of this thing. And it's okay to let go of things. Things are not always supposed to be with us forever. All right, these cards represent are representing our highs. So what's a high? What's in our inner? What's going to be a high this month? And right off the bat, you've got this Wheel of Fortune card. This luck is in your favor. So if you've been feeling like you're getting a ton of bad luck lately, know that this is a wheel. It's a circle, and just like you can be on top at one point, you can also be on the bottom, and it's going to continually flip. It doesn't mean that everything that you do is without risk and you're going to win at everything that you do in September, but it does mean that the odds are in your favor. So be wary of that. Take chances, smart choices, all of that, but know that luck is in your favor. So now is a good time to take a little bit of a risk. I especially think it's interesting that falls under the Nine of Wands card, because that card is really telling us that you're almost there, right? You're almost ready to end this journey and you've got luck on your side. Judgment. Your judgment is in reverse. And so this is another major arcana card. These two energies are really prominent. When I see this Judgment, it's telling me that you may be over-focused on either judging other people or judging yourself and what people are saying about you, how they're feeling. Are they talking about you? Are they gossiping about you? Are you worried about what they will think if you make a certain choice or decision? Is that what's causing the worry and the anxiety and the insomnia? So in September, make sure that you step back and you really take a listen to what internally you need to say, right? And this judgment may be something that you need to walk away from, right? So once you figure that out, once you figure out what it is about this judgment, you can then figure out how to heal from that, how to walk away from that, so that it's not actually keeping you up at night. It's not giving you undue worry or anxiety. And then we have this Four of Cups. This Four of Cups is all about apathy. So something in your life you're just kind of meandering about. You're not making a decision. You're not super excited, but you're also not angry or upset or fearful. There's just no real emotion or connection to that. And so I would dig into that. What is it that you're not excited about? It could be something at work, a new project. It could be a relationship, and are you just settling for it to have somebody to talk to, or is it really time to think about ending that relationship because it's not serving you? So something in your life is causing you to be sort of disconnected. It's not bringing you joy, but you're staying with it. You're settling because why not? And I would just encourage you this month of September to look a little closer. It's in reverse right now, which may mean that it's not huge, a huge presence in your life, but you're going to start feeling that, and you want to pay attention to that before it becomes huge, before the energy manifests in an even bigger way that does cause anger or anxiety or fear or any of those negative things. All right, and then what are your lows going to be this month? Lows for September. All right, we've got the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. Right, so you got a lot of eights. You got 3 8s and 2 9s. Eights also are about action. They're about forward movement. Lots of things happening when you see the eights. So a couple of things I want to call your attention to. This Eight of Swords, this is the crucible energy. This means that you're going through something that's a little bit heavy. It's unexpected. It happens quickly, and you're feeling the pressure. But the thing about the crucible is that it forges iron. It forges steel. It makes you stronger. So whatever you're going through in September, whatever's coming, know that you have the strength to get through. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to give you a testimony that you can use to help others. It's going to give you wisdom and insight. It's really for your own good, and it may feel scary at times, but know that it is actually the universe working to equip you with things that you're going to need in the future. We've got this Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is all about rapid action, communication, decisions, sometimes having to make a lot of choices really quickly. It can also mean a lot of communication, constantly feeling overwhelmed by the amount of communication and messages that are coming at you really quickly. It can symbolize synchronicity. So if you're into numerology and you're seeing messages, numbers, like 222 all the time, or 1111 all the time, pay attention, look it up. Those are messages that are trying to get through to you. This can also mean, messages that people are sending that are making you feel overwhelmed. I always think about this as social media too. That judgment piece, it could be these messages and these communications that are coming at you constantly that are causing you to have unnecessary judgment over yourself and others. So you may want to think about taking a detox from social media for a while, even if it's just a day or a weekend, but just pressing pause so that you can recenter and refocus. And then the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, Ace is all about new beginnings. And so this is just telling me that there's a new passion, a new idea, a seed of something that you might want to write down and pursue. It's probably something creative or something connected to your passion and your purpose, something that energizes you. Don't dismiss it. Don't toss it aside. Capture it somewhere, even if you don't have the time to work on it fully. All right. And then what opportunities are there for you this month? What opportunities? We've got the hanged one and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so when I see the hanged one, this is a lovely interpretation. It reminds me to get perspective, get new perspective. So the hanged one, like you see, we've got the moon looking at the earth instead of the earth looking at the moon, which tells us get distance, get perspective, change your perspective, and come to peace with this new outlook. And it's going to help you. It's going to serve you. It's going to allow you to see things clear. So in some situation in September, there's going to be an opportunity for you to flip your perspective, and that is going to help you find peace and comfort. And then the second one is the Seven of Pentacles, which is in reverse, but the Seven of Pentacles speaks to sort of like the to-do list, the things, the hard work that you're doing is starting to pay off. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor, but you're not done. So it's a reminder to both take a break, celebrate, indulge a little, treat yourself so that you can continue to go on, but don't quit completely because your journey is not over. Your journey's not over. So continue to work towards that end goal, but also acknowledge the work that you've done, acknowledge the accomplishments that you've had. Okay, and then lastly, advice from the Moon Oracle. We have meditate and contemplate and take time. Take time to breathe out. How powerful is that? Take time to breathe out. So that just says that like you need to press reset. You need to pause. And that's going to be really, really helpful for you and grounding you. All right, so sorry, I got cut off there. But what I was saying was we've got these two Moon Oracle cards, meditate and contemplate, and we've got take time to breathe out, exhale. So this is just telling me that you need to step away. There's going to be a moment, especially because we've got all this energy with these two cards, your dark moments here, your lows, the things that are going to have the ability to push you into like a low vibe, a low frequency, right? Low energy. that 8 of Swords and that 8 of Wands, that's going to really distract you unless you find a way to take time to breathe, unless you find a way to disconnect, unless you find ways to meditate, ways to gain new perspective. And I highly, highly, highly recommend identifying the things that no longer serve you. And then again, setting up some structure, really thinking about like a habit tracker or something that's going to make sure that you're taking that self-care, self-reflection time that you need to help you get through this last battle, help you get through this last stretch so that you can end your month on a high and so you can take advantage of this, right? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? This is luck, but you also need that preparation and you need the opportunity. It sounds like you're going to get some opportunities, but you need to be prepared. You need to be well rested. You need to take care of yourself in order to allow these things to manifest. Okay, that was your reading. I hope this was helpful and provided you some insight. Let me know down below in the comments if this was helpful, what resonated most with you. If you go through September and you watch this again and find something that actually happened, please share it with me in the comments or DM me, message me, email me. I would love to know. All right, that's it. Be sure to subscribe and hit like if you enjoyed this so that other people can find the channel. All right, bye.